Hi, this is another vibrato exercise called tap and hold, and it will also be tap and hold with a wind-up. I'll explain all of that. First of all, let's go into playing position without the bow. Have your hand in the middle of the strings in middle position and do some waving just to get the arm motion going and some tapping. And now let's take it one step further, and after we tap a few times, let the fingers stick down onto the string, either on top or even in between the string works for this exercise, and just keep the vibrato motion going while holding the fingers down. So this is what that would look like. Waving, tapping, and tap and hold. Waving, tapping, and tap and hold. Tap and hold. One of the things that my teacher Paul Rolland discovered is that so many times violinists were starting from the starting point of, say, vibrato, which would be the finger down on the string, and then trying to add the vibrato in from that position, and then having trouble getting it started. And so he was studying athletes, and when you think about what athletes do, for example, a baseball pitcher, before the ball shoots forward, it actually, the body moves backwards first and then goes forward. Same with a tennis player with a tennis racket, golf swings, all kinds of athletic events can give you an information about how the body functions at its optimum. So he thought if you're moving forward in the first impetus of a vibrato, how about moving backwards a little bit before you go forward? And so that's where the tap and hold action comes into play. We're actually, when we're tapping, we're moving forward and back. And if we tap and hold, we're going backwards before we come in. So now, one of the exercises then that you can do is to slur two notes. Let's start from an open string. I'm going into third position, and I'll use my second finger. I'll be playing those two notes, but I'm going to do an open to a fingered note, and when I'm playing the open string, I'm having my arm move back a little bit and come into the vibrato. Notice what my arm is doing. I'm exaggerating the motion. You wouldn't do it that much when you're in the middle of a piece, but to get the idea, it really helps to exaggerate the motion. Let's try it with a third finger this time. You can do that exercise on all strings, and in a series of books called New Tunes for Strings by Stanley Fletcher, Paul Rolland was the artistic advisor of how to incorporate these techniques into some tunes, and this one tune is for this purpose, or tap and hold and wind up, that we would call that movement backwards, the wind up. And it's called Under a Blue Moon. Song he transfers to other strings, but the idea of the wind up and then the tap and hold, wind up, tap and hold, will allow you to have a fluid motion and relaxation in your shifts rather than tension as we fear going to the right spot on the string.